Hidden truth. The moment Jamie Dornan couldn't keep silent before Dakota, the premiere of Velvet Nightfall, a movie expected to be a blockbuster, is underway. Flashbulbs are flashing, photographers jostle for the perfect moment, and amid all the glitter, Jamie Dornan and Dakota Johnson step out of the car to cheers from the crowd. They smile, they wave, they pose together like two best friends. No one knows that just hours earlier, in the lavish back room of the Arcadia Hotel, a secret argument had broken out that left them barely able to look at each other. No one knows that it stemmed from something the Hollywood press has never touched. A secret betrayal that has been brewing for the past 3 years, a secret known only to the two of them. The unexpected letter. 3 days before the film premiere, Jamie received a strange envelope left on his door at the hotel where the film crew was staying. There was no sender. It wasn't a threatening letter, it wasn't a contract, it wasn't an invitation to an event. It was a hard copy of an email between Dakota and the film's producer. The email read, "I understand Jamie wants to change the ending scene, but if he continues to push, we may consider splitting the lead into 2 independent lines. I cannot support his request. Please keep this exchange confidential." Jamie read it over and over again. His chest tightened. He wasn't angry about the content. He was angry that Dakota had spoken in a way that made it seem like he was the problem, like he was an obstacle to the film they were making together. A small betrayal, but sharp enough to cut into his trust in his longtime co-star. What made Jamie explode wasn't that Dakota didn't agree with him. It was that she hadn't told him outright, "Keep this conversation a secret." That sentence haunted Jamie all night. The day of the break, the next day, when Dakota knocked on his door to discuss the event's rehearsal schedule, Jamie opened it with a stony expression. "Dakota, come in." She walked in, not noticing anything unusual. "Jamie, we have an additional poster shoot tonight." Jamie put the email printout down on the table. Dakota looked down, her face paled. What is this?" Jamie asked, his voice low. "Do you have something to say?" Dakota bit her lip. "I didn't think it would reach you. So it's real?" Dakota was silent. For the first time in years, she didn't know what to say. "Jamie, I didn't mean to betray you. It was just, I was under pressure. The producers asked me for my opinion on your request." You talked behind my back?" Jamie interrupted. "It was that simple." Dakota looked up. "No, it's not what you think. I just wanted to settle things in the gentlest way." By cutting me out of the final scene, Dakota stepped back. "Jamie, you've got it all wrong. I wanted to protect you. I thought if you two continued to argue directly, you'd be in a bad position. I wanted to handle it more gently." Jamie laughed, but her voice was bitter. "By calling me a problem in the email?" Dakota pursed her lips. There was no denying it. "Jamie, you know I never wanted to hurt you. But you did." Jamie replied, "And the worst part is, you didn't tell me. We've been acting together for 3 years, sharing everything, I thought." He paused. Only the faint hum of the air conditioner could be heard. "I thought we were real friends." Dakota clasped her hands. Her eyes glistened with tears. "I thought so too, but friends don't betray each other, Dakota." That sentence shattered the air like glass thrown to the tile floor. Dakota whispered, "Jamie, please, listen to me. I don't want to lose," but Jamie stepped back. "We're going to the premiere tonight. You do your part, I'll do mine. After this movie, maybe we should stop." Dakota collapsed into a chair. She didn't cry, but it hurt as if someone had just sucked the air out of the room. Fake red carpet. The premiere was a grand affair, Fans were screaming, flashbulbs were flashing. But everyone saw one thing. Jamie and Dakota tried to smile, but the smiles didn't reach their eyes. The gossip hunters began to whisper. They seem to have a problem. Ah, look at there. They were standing a little far away. Dakota just glanced at Jamie and he looked away. It was like a public drama that only the two main characters knew the truth. But the climax was yet to come. It was the press conference after the event, public confrontation. In the press conference room, reporters kept asking questions. Both Jamie and Dakota were tired but tried to be polite. Then a question was asked. There were rumors that the two of them had a falling out during the filming. Can you both confirm? Dakota opened his mouth to reply diplomatically, but Jamie put his hand on the microphone first. He rarely got angry, but this time, he really exploded. I will answer, he said, looking straight ahead. We have a big disagreement. And if there is one thing I hate most about this job, it is dishonesty. The room held its breath. Dakota turned to him, eyes wide. The reporter immediately seized the opportunity. You mean? Jamie spoke each word clearly. I only want to work with people who will tell me straight, not behind my back. Dakota whispered, Jamie, don't do that. Jamie turned away. We've gone too far to pretend nothing happened. Dakota took the microphone, her voice trembling but strong. Okay, if you want the truth. I want it too. The room exploded. Dakota looked straight at the reporters. Yes, we had a falling out. Because I made a mistake. I hid an email from Jamie. Not to betray him, but because I was afraid the conflict would make things worse. I was wrong. She turned to Jamie. But I never betrayed you in any other way. And I never stopped believing that you were my best friend. Jamie didn't respond. Dakota continued. I know you're disappointed, but I'm also hurt. For 3 years, we've been more than just co-stars. We've been each other's buddies when things fell apart. Don't let an email ruin it all. The room was silent, so quiet that you could hear the scratching of pens. Jamie took a deep breath. For the first time, he looked at Dakota not with anger, but with confusion. Finally, he said, Dakota, I'm not disappointed by that email. I'm disappointed you didn't tell me. That's all. Dakota replied softly. Then let me say it now. I'm sorry, Jamie. Her voice broke. The room breathed a sigh of relief, but it was only the beginning, the truth after the truth. The press conference ended in media chaos. Jamie headed backstage. Dakota chased after her. Jamie, please stop. Give me a chance. Why? He spun around. Because you're afraid of the press? Or because you're afraid of losing your image? No, Dakota almost shouted. Because I'm afraid of losing you. Jamie stopped. Dakota clenched her hands so tightly her knuckles turned white. You don't understand. I sent that email because I wanted to defend you. The producers said if you keep pushing new ideas, they'll consider cutting your role to focus on another character. I don't want that. Jamie frowned. Dakota continued. I said, keep it a secret, because I thought, if you knew, you'd blame yourself. I don't want you to get hurt. I did it wrong, but I just want to protect you. Jamie was silent for a long time. His heart pounded. You think I'm so weak that I need to be protected from the truth? Dakota shook his head. Not weak. She paused. Because you're important to me. The atmosphere changed. It was so quiet that Jamie could hear both of them breathing. Dakota, Jamie whispered, why didn't you say that from the beginning? Dakota replied, her voice trembling. Because I was afraid it would change everything. Jamie looked deep into her eyes. Maybe it should have changed a long time ago.